I'd quickly seen enough, pulled the door to and sat at the kitchen table, aghast at what was to come for me. The sound was awful. Crack, 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 so many whacks. I began to watch the clock, and only then did I realize how late it was. It was nearly 2:30. No wonder our aunt had been annoyed at us for making noise. For 5 long minutes, I heard my aunt belabor poor Felipe with that spoon, and, his resolve broken, I heard him cry out, "Ow! Ow! Ow!" near the end. At last, the sound stopped, and I heard my aunt say, "Fetch your sister." Felipe came in, limping, his eyes wet with tears and clutching his rear end. "Go on," was all he managed to say. I entered the living room, my heart about to burst. There was a lump in my throat, and I willed myself not to cry. "Right, there is no favoritism in this house. You will be treated the same as your brother. Pajamas off, and I want you bent over these arms on your knees." And she tapped the chair arms with the spoon. I untied the cord around my waist and lowered my pajamas, praying Felipe was not doing as I had done and watching me in my humiliation. I also realized something: those pajamas would not have given much protection against the thick spoon. The act of bearing myself was a part of the punishment. It was symbolic, a submission. I felt sick with nerves as I climbed onto the sofa and lowered my stomach onto the chair arms. I noted that this position was, at least, more comfortable than standing on my feet, bent over the kitchen table. 5 minutes of this should clean out your mouth, she said grimly. The spoon struck my left buttock, then my right. The first blows were not really painful. They were striking fresh flesh. But after about 90 seconds, every inch of my bottom had been smacked and the blows continued to rain down. The strokes on flesh that had already been hit hurt a lot, yet still they continued, as if another layer of paint had to be applied. At last, I cried out in pain, something I'd never done while being slippered. The blows on already bruised flesh were just too much. Tears welled up and I remember saying, "Please, enough." There was to be no mercy. I guess it was 5 minutes she beat me for, but I was in too much pain to really think by the end. It was agonizing. My bottom felt as I imagined it would were it to be skinned. At last, it was over. She let me rise and dress and called Felipe in. My brother entered, and now I was the emotional one, and he had time to calm down. He was, however, still clutching his bottom. "Back to bed. Not one word out of you till morning," said my aunt.